Alright guys, today we're building something massive. Not just another farm, not just another redstone contraption. This is a fully automated stone factory. We're talking non-stop stone generation, all the way from automatic smelting to full-on auto crafting for every stone brick variant. All completely hands-free. So go get some snacks and come back and let's get into it. Alright, so this video is going to be split into 3 different phases. Phase 1, getting materials. Phase 2, building the factory. Phase 3, building the farms inside the factory. So phase 1 is getting materials. We're going to need a bunch of different types of stone, cobblestone, tuff, deep slate, and the hardest one being blast furnaces. About 2 shulker boxes worth of them. Which then means I need 10 shulker boxes of iron ingots, 6 shulker boxes of smooth stone, and 2 shulkers of furnaces, which alone equals 16 boxes of cobblestone. So yeah, I definitely had my work cut out for me. First up on the list was dirt and grass, which I luckily already had sitting in my storage. Next up, moss. So I headed over to our server's bone meal farm and AFK'd in the middle until I had more moss than I'll ever need. Then came the different varieties of stone. Most of it was already in my storage system, so I could craft almost anything I needed, except for tuff. And let's just say I found some lying around another project. Yeah, I totally didn't steal it from my friend or anything. Now, the blast furnaces were a different story. We needed a lot of materials for those, and my storage system barely had any of it. So first, I flew over to my iron farm, and surprisingly, I was able to get all 10 shulker boxes of iron ingots I needed. Next, I smelted an insane amount of smooth stone in the super smelter at my mega base. While that was cooking, I worked on gathering cobblestone for all of those furnaces. I went through my cobble chest and managed to fill 14 out of 16 shulkers of it, then headed to my friend's cobble farm to finish off the rest. And then came the annoying part. Crafting 3,456 furnaces. Alright, surely the smooth stone's finished smelting, right? Nope, of course not. Guess I'm AFKing again. I finally got all the materials, so here's a time lapse of me crafting the blast furnaces. Alright, with all that finished, I only had 2 items left, granite and bricks. Granite was pretty easy. I had a massive surplus of storage. Bricks, though, not so much. I had maybe 4 or 5 stacks, and I need around 40. So, villagers, here I come. I thought about making a clay farm, but when you've got unlimited emeralds and a basement full of villagers who have no idea what fair wages are, trading just makes way more sense. Now that we've got all the resources we need, except for the redstone part, but that's a later me problem, it's time to move on to phase 2. Building the factory. Before I could place a single block of building the actual factory, I had to do a ton of terraforming. Like, way more than I planned. I basically built an entire canyon just to make the perfect spot for this thing to sit on. It looked awesome, but it definitely drained more brain cells than I'd like to admit. Once the canyon was shaped, I built a bridge connecting it to my main industrial base. And honestly, it ties everything together perfectly. Then comes the factory itself. I started working on the frame and the walls and the roof, the usual grind, but I may or may not have completely messed up on recording it. So instead, here's a very accurate recreation of how it went. Nailed it, right? Anyways, the main shell is finally complete, and the factory is looking insane. Exactly what I pictured for this area. But next up, it's time to fill it with life. Or the farms. Phase 3. Building the farms inside. So first up is the auto smelters. I wanted this thing to be fast enough to smelt a small mountain in like one lunch break. So I built a nice long array of furnaces with hopper minecarts feeding fuel and items evenly across 256 furnaces. Next up is the cobblestone generator, which is basically the heart of this factory. It's basically just a TNT duper with an insane amount of water and lava generators. Now for the shulker box loader, which otherwise known as the system that turns infinite stone into nicely packed boxes, which is needed because this thing produces a lot of stone. And finally, the auto crafting system. This was the most annoying part. You'd think auto crafting would be simple, but no. The system looks like IKEA instructions if IKEA was written in redstone. But once it was up and running, it was beautiful. Cobble goes in, turns into stone, stone into stone bricks, and straight into storage. No crafting table, no clicking, just automation. So, with all 4 systems built, the auto smelter, cobble generator, shulker loader, and auto crafter, the factory is now fully operational. Everything inside runs on its own now, which means this video is almost over. But before this video ends, I just want to say I had a lot of fun making this one. And I also want to thank you guys for all of the support recently. It seriously means a lot. We're getting close to 1,000 subs, and I'll be posting a special when that hits, by the way. So get hyped for that. Also, if you could hit that sub button, my ego needs it. Anyways, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.